So you end up writing one of Waylon's last number one as a solo artist,
Yeah.
Rose in Paradise, and we have to talk about that
Yep.
song.
Stuart Harris and I had actually written that song in 1983, and an independent artist named Randy Howard cut it, but it never got out on radio. He finally put it on a little CD thing he did. Well, about 2 or 3 years later, Phil Walden came up from Macon, and he and Buddy killing it at Tree, and someone else I can't remember. They started Triad Records. They were going to try to kind of bring back the Southern rock thing. Well, Toy Caldwell, the lead singer for Marshall Tucker, recorded Rose in Paradise. Never got out. It didn't. Triad kind of it didn't work. So that never got out. So it's already been cut twice. I sent it to Charlie Daniels' house 2 or 3 times. That didn't work either. But one day, Loretta Lynn was in our office to listen to songs. And so when my song plugger was through playing her songs, she said, Loretta, this song is not for you, but you got to hear a song the boys just wrote and demoed. So Loretta went, oh, my Lord, honey, they need to get that. You need to get that to Waylon. And so she did. She took it to Jimmy Bowen and played for Waylon. And Waylon said, man, we just finished. But he said, tell those guys, talking about me and Stuart, he said, tell them if they would put that song under a rock, I promise. Now, you know what a promise on Music Row is worth. Basically nothing. So anyway, he said, I promise I will cut that when I go back in the studio next year. It was the first song he cut. And we went to the flower shop and bought one single rose and had it taken over to the studio.
Awesome.
But it was the first song he cut, and when it came out, it was so unlike anything on radio at that point. A lot of DJs made that comment. They said there was nothing like it on the radio then. This was in '87, and so anyway, it went to number one. It was this last, and I know this sounds crazy, but that was 1987. And even now, there's hardly a week that goes by that somehow that song doesn't come up in conversation or something. And several bluegrass bands have recorded it. And there again, somebody may have gotten killed. We don't know. It could be a couple of deaths. We don't know.
Yeah, I've told you my thoughts. I even though you wrote it, I still think he killed her.
I'll go with yours.
Tell if you don't
show.
mind. It's your song. Tell people, just when you're writing a song like that, you have this subconscious mind where you don't even really know sometimes where the inspiration's coming from, but you got to talk about the woman from the 1800s.
Oh, okay. So back home in Madison County, Alabama, in the early 1800s, I'll make this quick, there was a apparently very beautiful redheaded lady who moved into outside Huntsville, Alabama, a place called Hazel Green. She married 5 times over the years, and all 5 of her husbands were rich, and they all died mysteriously not long after they were married. And one of them had built her a mansion. I think the second husband had built her a big mansion, and they even took her to court. There was no forensic files or CSI back then, and they tried to prove that she had poisoned those guys, and they could never prove it. And so she managed to stay out of jail for several years and finally moved to Mississippi. And I forgot to mention that they're all buried out behind that house. The house burned. It's no longer there, but I can take you to those graves right now. They were out behind the house. And inside the house, the legend was that she had all 5 of their hats hung on the hallway entry. And I've seen 5 nails. I didn't see 5 hats there, but I've seen the 5
Listen,
nails.
I can sympathize with the first 2 or 3. Bless their hearts. But at 4 and 5, you got to start asking questions when you go to our house for a date. What are these graves over here?
Yeah, who are these guys? Right. That's true. It's all documented. Pretty wild story.
Thanks for watching this clip of Country Drive. To see more in the future, please hit like and subscribe.